Hello everyone and welcome to the final module of the DataPrime Academy course. We have learned powerful DataPrime capabilities all the way from basic filtering right through to advanced APM analysis. Now I want to focus on some practical tips, some troubleshooting approaches that'll help you along your journey. So beginning with the structure, DataPrime is a pipeline-based syntax. So you can systematically debug each pipeline whenever things get complicated. So the queries are processed data from left to right. So when debugging, it's very easy to go off and test each pipeline individually. When building out these queries, it's very important to use the limit function. So as I have here, it's always very useful to use that limit function when testing. That'll just stop you getting into the scan limits. As we know, we have the rich autocomplete here that lets you know what is potentially coming next. It's also very good for showing you what actually data you have. But also, I always like to filter by the subsystem name. I always like to go in and take a look at what that data is. So what does that data consist of? And then from knowing what's inside the data, I can go off and build some powerful queries with DataPrime. Don't forget to use the help system. I think this is fantastic to have alongside you. You can always use Control F and find, for example, join that we used earlier on in the series. You can go off and find out the exact syntax, how the operator works. You can see some examples in there. Very, very useful to have. Okay, so I've pasted in some examples here for DataPrime performance and optimization. Most of it's all done under the hood, as we know, but DataPrime, when writing DataPrime queries, it's always good to think about disk I/O, minimizing disk I/O and data volume. So that involves things like always filter on source data first, not computed data, for example. It's more efficient to use exact matching than to set range operations, for example, or string operations. libregex is included there too. It's always good to have more of an exact match. So tokenized search here, where we've got a filter by my term, but where this one here, we're going into string operations. So we're actually doing what's included in the message, and that's a full string scan. So that's not efficient. Another efficient pattern would be to narrow first and then make it more complex. So again, we're breaking it down by the type, and then we're searching for that username instead of just using filter.username contains foo, because then that's going off and doing a full string search. Only read the needed columns that you need. To do that, we use the choose functionality. That also provides nice clean results, again using the limit functionality here. Inefficient would be reading all the columns. So filter source logs, subsystem name, that will be reading all them columns for the payment service, and that's not very efficient. Help system, limit functionality, choose field name, minimize disk I/O through efficient filtering, understand the systematic debugging, left to right pipelines, and don't be afraid to explore the help command and the documentation. So thank you for completing the DataPrime Academy course. We have went from the fundamentals, the architecture syntax, the AI assistant, the help system. We have looked at filtering, aggregation, transformation, enrichment, joins. We have looked at APM analysis, making our observability unified, and performance optimization, all with DataPrime. So now you have the skills to transform raw observability data into actionable business intelligence using this next generation query language. I hope you have had fun along the way. I certainly have. And I'll see you in the next series.